Is it too soon for a Steam Deck 2? Let's talk about it. We all know the Steam Deck is amazing. It's the main reason why I still make Steam Deck content. It's also the reason why many content creators make Steam Deck videos. And it's also the reason why some of those content creators and I collaborate on a channel called Steam Pals. What could be better than a Steam Deck? Some say the competition is better because it's lighter or it's more powerful. But I think the only thing that could really be better than the Steam Deck 1 is a Steam Deck 2. Recently, Rock Paper Shotgun did an interview with Pierre-Loup Graffai and Lawrence Yang, both Valve employees. It's a great interview. You should definitely read the article when you have the chance. There's a lot in here that I won't cover because it's not relevant to the video, but I will cover this portion first. The line reads as follows: Valve have other ideas that they're keeping quiet about, though according to Graffai, they may align with requests from the wider Steam Deck owning public. So yes, obviously they're not slowing down on the Steam Deck updates or even the Steam Deck features. I mean, after all, we just got a recent update showcasing ray tracing in Doom Eternal, on a Steam Deck no less. The article does mention that some of these future updates may align with requests from the wider public. So I'm not entirely sure if Valve is watching this video, but if you are watching this video, check out Decky. There are a ton of Decky plugins that deserve to be features in the main OS itself. For instance, I would like Deck MTP to just become a part of SteamOS itself. Same with others like CSS Loader. There's just too many great plugins to list. Another concern vying for Valve's attention is game compatibility. To be sure, this has improved significantly over the past year. Incompatibilities with certain anti-cheat systems or media codecs often left swaths of games unplayable, but these have since been largely fixed. I'd say we don't have many big compatibility holes remaining, Graffai asserts, and development focus shifted more towards what he calls value-add features like HDR, and indeed ray tracing. The way this reads as if Valve may have stamped out most of the major issues causing games to not work on Steam Deck. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions here and there, but for the most part, Valve's been doing good work. This still leaves the biggest issue: anti-cheat. There's two big issues with this. First and foremost, there are games that use anti-cheats that straight up do not work on Steam Deck at all. Maybe some proprietary anti-cheat, or some obscure anti-cheat that doesn't work. There are also games that use anti-cheats that are supported on Linux, but for whatever reason, refuse to enable support for Linux users, and by extension Steam Deck players. Most notably Destiny 2. It's a game I bitch about every other day. I have questions like, what is the Veil? What is the radial mast? Why is the radial mast going to the Veil so bad? What did the Witness do? But most importantly, why hasn't Bungie enabled Steam Deck support for Destiny 2? And what is this emblem for? This portable power emblem. This one emblem that made us believe that we'd get Steam Deck support for Destiny 2. What is it really for then? Whatever the case may be, even if Valve fixes everything else, the biggest enemy towards Steam Deck compatibility is anti-cheat. Other stuff can potentially be fixed by Valve, but it seems Valve has placed the anti-cheat ball in the court of the publishers or developers. Moving on, they talk about the verification rating. They mentioned that the list of playable verified titles has grown substantially, from 1,000 games at launch to around 8,000 games. I do think it's cool that Valve is committing to this system, even if most of the hardcore Steam Deck community prefers ProtonDB. They also talk about the increasing system requirements for major titles. Two that's mentioned is Wild Hearts and Returnal. It's hard to say as it'll depend on how developers approach it, Graffai says. I believe the deck has the potential to be a solid target throughout the generation, but the work involved is trickier than the typical deck UX tweaks that developers have had to do for games that already perform well. That said, there are benefits to game developers doing this work. If high-end current-gen titles are able to scale to Steam Deck and be a great experience, it also enables smoother performance on a wider variety of PCs, and improve the experience for the whole player base. I wholeheartedly agree with this statement 100%. Like seriously, one of the biggest long-standing issues with gaming PCs is how non-standard everything is. On the onset, it's great because it allows for customization of your PC. Sure, you could blow your entire life savings on the biggest, baddest PC imaginable, but if you're constrained on a budget, this allows you to select parts that fit your workload the best. This is great, but it made it difficult for publishers and developers to ascertain what constitutes as the lowest end PC. The lowest common denominator is scaled down to, within reason of course. The Steam Deck is finally that PC. The Steam Deck is by no means a super high-end gaming PC, but it's a relatively affordable gaming PC. A gaming PC where every single Steam Deck will have the same specs across the board, except for storage. This gives developers a low-end target to aim for. And yes, while we do have plenty of major releases that just simply did not run well on Steam Deck at launch, the fact of the matter is games take years to develop. They couldn't possibly develop for a platform that they didn't know about. But hey, now that we know that a Steam Deck exists, future developers can optimize for it, right? I sure hope I'm not huffing copium. Obviously, the biggest headliner is the very last paragraph. While the Steam Deck's success has made us even more excited to look closely at what can be improved, according to Yang, he reckons a true next-gen Steam Deck with a significant bump in horsepower wouldn't be for a few years. There's been a lot of speculation for people suggesting that the Steam Deck's gonna have a yearly cycle or some crap like that, but I certainly never agreed with that. While the Steam Deck is a PC and it's fully open for you to modify and do things with, the fact of the matter is, Valve has taken the console approach to making things as easy to use as possible, and as easy to understand as possible as well. So waiting a couple of years to release a next generation Steam Deck makes the most sense. Like, instead of having a Steam Deck with RDNA 3, you could have a Steam Deck in a couple of years with RDNA 4 or 5, or whatever. The fact is, we don't need a Steam Deck 2 today, because I'm willing to wait for what tomorrow brings. What tomorrow's Steam Deck 2 will be. If you like high-tech lowlife, you should check out the rest of my channel. And if you like the rest of my channel, you should like, subscribe, and spread the good gospel of high-tech lowlife. Furthermore, we have a community Discord server. There's a link in the description down below. Check us out.